Okay, so you probably clicked on this video, A, because you want to be happier, or B, because you thought I was rage baiting and that I was just gonna sit here and brag about my life and how privileged I am. Let's be honest, the title is kind of worded in a way that is maybe supposed to be a little bit irritating. But fear not, this video is not just me bragging about my life. I'm actually gonna give you an exact blueprint on how to actually be happier and how to make your life feel really, really freaking great. I don't want to waste any of your time because that would probably not make you very happy, so let's get right into it. The only disclaimer I want to give you in this video is that this blueprint worked for me. It might very well work for you because I recommend this to all of my friends and everyone I meet, and they all have really great results. But obviously, I'm not here to tell you what your kind of happiness is, and I'm also not here to brag. I'm just gonna tell you why the frick I'm always so happy. I'm literally one of the happiest people I personally know, and this is not by chance, and I'm gonna tell you why. Feel free to steal my formula. And by the way, you can find all timestamps here, so don't you worry. Okay, let's talk about the first thing. I have mastered perception. And obviously that's a really bold statement to say, but when I look around at the people around me that go through life, I can totally see that most people don't even know how their perception literally creates their entire life. As soon as you find out about the power of perception, your entire life changes. The world around us exists, and technically, most things around us, the objects we see, the situations we see, they are somewhat neutral. We give them meaning. Our perception literally shapes how we see the world. Every single person on this planet walks around with a different set of sunglasses. Every single person sees the world in a completely different way, although the world still stays the same. You can have a bee, for example, and one person sees something that might sting them, and they just want to get as far away as possible from that thing, and another person stands in awe in front of that bee on how that bee flies around and pollinates the flowers and is such a vital part to our ecosystem and makes our nature thrive. One person misses a train and immediately goes on a tangent how life is completely unfair and truly just everything sucks, and the other person sees an opportunity to spend a few more minutes reading their book. And this you can do with everything. Obviously, the perception that we do currently carry around is shaped in the first 7 years of our lives, which basically includes some of our most formative experiences that we had, which were also some negative ones. It can make us see one thing that another person loves as something that is terrifying. One person loves dogs more than anything, and one person had a very terrible experience with dogs early on and now hates them. But objects and situations, no matter how much you disagree, are neutral. We as humans give them meanings. Look at the things in your life and how you can literally in an instant switch your perspective when it comes to literally anything. That does not mean repressing your emotions or literally pushing them away and forcing yourself to be positive and truly denying any negative feelings. No, not at all. Allow yourself to feel frustrated. Allow yourself to be sad, but don't dwell on it. See the good in everything, see the positivity in everything, and take off those programmed glasses that you have had on since you were a child and see things from a different perspective. How can you see things in a more loving, positive, and uplifting way? And how ultimately can you create entirely new glasses for yourself and actually shape your perspective with every new situation and every new occurrence that you look at differently now? The next thing I need to talk about is failure doesn't exist. And this is maybe something that you've heard about before, and lots of people talk about it in the self-help community, but failure doesn't exist. And that's something that has made me pretty freaking happy. I used to run around all the time being really afraid of failure. I started my career as a photographer really early on at the age of 15, and I was so afraid of making a wrong decision. Even later on, in the past years, I was so afraid of making a decision and it might be the wrong one, and especially when it came to money. Each failure that you have in your life is a learning lesson. And there comes the perspective again. Failure for one person means, oh, I'm not good enough, I should just stop, I'm not worth anything. Failure is scary and it should be avoided at all cost. And for another person, failure is a sign of, hey, now I know what doesn't work, and maybe that leads me to not making that mistake, maybe even with more money in the future where I would have lost more money. Or they say, because I failed, I tried, I'm trying. Some people are doing nothing. They're not even trying. I'm trying. Some people say failure is the best learning lesson there is because I literally have a first-hand example of what I shouldn't do, which ultimately leads me to sooner finding out what it is that I should do. Or sometimes you can even make profit off of your failures because you can help people not make the same mistakes that you did. The same thing goes with rejection. As soon as you literally know what rejection actually does to your body, your life changes and you don't take it so personally anymore. The feeling of rejection goes all the way back to literally our most primal days when we still lived in tribes, and when we were rejected, we kind of starved. And our system and our bodies and our nervous systems often still operate on very, very primal systems that haven't even evolved that much. So the feeling you get when you get rejected is terrible. We know it. It literally makes our heart sink. It feels painful. Your body is literally assuming the absolute worst thing is that you're starving and you're not part of the tribe anymore. Back then, that would have literally meant you're dying. So often rejection literally to our body feels like, I'm dying. But we're in 2025, and just because you get rejected, you're not dying. And you can actually give your body that memo. And then no, rejection is redirection in every way possible. Rejection leads you away from things that are not meant for you, even if it's hard in the moment. Like I said, perception. Allow yourself to be frustrated. Allow yourself to feel the emotions of, ugh, I got rejected. Allow yourself to be sad, but then put on the new glasses and change your perception. It is redirection. It is taking you away from things that do not serve you. Something better is coming. Okay, next thing, and this might be easy for some, but maybe not so easy for others. And I actually do think this is one of the most important things of all that I'm going to mention in this video, because I believe it does not just contribute hugely to my happiness, it has also given me a major advantage in life. And it is also part of the reason why I get so much shit done. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, and I don't take any sort of drugs. But most importantly, I don't surround myself with people that have made those priorities in their life. Obviously, this plays a massive part in the physical aspect of my happiness, but also in the social aspect and also in the career aspect of my life. We do know that smoking, alcohol, and drinking, they have incredibly negative impacts on our body, our gut, our brain, our entire system, which can often lead to depression and make us really unhappy and actually lead to so many health issues. But it has also saved me so much time. I had a summer when I was around 15, 16, where I surrounded myself with people who went out drinking every single day until they were blackout drunk lying on the floor. And I've actually never gotten the appeal, and I'm not one for peer pressure, so I never participated. But I still vividly remember that that was such an important part in my journey where I truly noticed this is what your life can look like. This is how you can spend your time. And I knew that I wanted to have nothing to do with it. Which actually brings me to my next point. I choose my circle wisely. And let me tell you, this might not always be super easy. You are the 5 people you surround yourselves with most. You literally become the people that you surround yourselves with daily. And at first, we can actually actively fight against it. But over time, you will actually notice that you become more and more like them, little by little. So choose your circle wisely. This is one of the most important things that you will ever do in your life. And the one thing that most people struggle with is actually being surrounded by a circle that they actually kind of know doesn't support the life that they want to live or the person they want to be. How are the people around you shaping your life and your habits? And how would you feel if you were around people that literally mirrored the person that you want to be, the person you want to become? Which actually brings me to my next point, and we're actually going to circle back for a minute in a bit, but you have to get to know yourself. Who are you currently, and are you the most authentic version of yourself? You won't find true happiness if you play a character, and this has been such a huge part of my journey. I was playing a character for such a long time in my life, and it wasn't until I finally reconnected to my authentic self, which is a lifelong process because we keep learning more about ourselves, but truly be honest with yourself. Treat yourself like a new friend. What do you like? What does your life feel like instead of what does it look like? Where are you playing a character? Where are you putting up a show just so people like you? Short-term validation of people giving you compliments or you portraying this really cool lifestyle online, that can make you feel like you're temporarily happy until you crash and burn because you notice that those high peaks of dopamine weren't actually happiness. So make it your life's mission to be as authentic as humanly possible. And with that comes being okay with being alone. My advantage may be that I grew up as an only child, but I love my own company. I can spend hours alone and I can fill it with so much joy because I truly like my own presence. I like who I am. I like my thoughts. I like my ideas, and I like how I treat myself. And this, again, it is a process, but it also comes with being authentic. If you constantly surround yourself with people you don't like, doing things you really, really hate, and you literally put up a character and you spend all your time with them, you come home and you try to spend some time alone, you won't even know who you are. So you spend your time suppressing your feelings and looking for that quick dopamine fix until you actually realize that to be happy actually means living fully as yourself. That is true freedom, and freedom makes us happy. And circling back, when you become your authentic self, the people around you that are not aligned, they will automatically leave your field. Actually, many things will leave your field, and it actually might feel like loss at first. It might feel like your life is literally falling apart, but your new life will cost you your old one. And especially when you embark on that journey of becoming fully your authentic self, little by little, step by step, you will notice that a lot of things fall away. But you will also notice that everything becomes crystal clear. You will immediately know what people are right for you. You will immediately know what opportunities are aligned or not. Your energy will immediately get rid of everything that does not make you happy, everything that does not serve you, and will immediately call in everything that is meant for you. And it's the same thing with community. I am happy because I'm living every single day as my most authentic self, or at least I'm trying my absolute best, and therefore on my journey I attracted the right souls, the right people that literally bring so much love and so much happiness again into my life. Let's talk about the next thing, and we actually already talked a little bit about energy, but I know that you become what you consume. You don't just become who you surround yourself with, you also become what you consume on a daily basis. And nowadays, that's trickier than ever because we consume so much freaking content every single day. We scroll on Reels, we scroll on TikTok, we bombard our brains with shows and YouTube videos and so much short form content. And basically all we do is consume. Most of us listen to music 24/7 and can't even go on a walk without putting in their earphones because being with our thoughts is really scary sometimes, especially when we push them away constantly. So when they do finally pop up, we just need to find a way to get rid of them because feeling anything, that would be scary. But hear me out. I am extremely strict about what I consume. I do not, for the love of God, watch horror movies. I heavily curate my algorithms to show me things that will actually enrich my life and actually make me feel happier and more inspired. And lastly, and this literally might be the most controversial one, I don't listen to 99% of the music that's out there. The music that's violent, the music that's extremely devastating and sad, pop music out there that is literally produced in a way to make it addictive, and that includes so many affirmations we literally then repeat on a daily basis about 100 times in our head. I also don't watch violent or graphic or extremely unnecessarily sad movies. And this might come with me just being a really sensitive person, but I do not involuntarily, for literally no reason at all, put myself in an energy that I do not want to embody and that I do not want to attract in my life. I know movies are great, and obviously sad songs as well can be great for actually dealing with your emotions and processing them, but I actually know of so many people that deliberately put themselves in a specific lower emotional state because they're literally romanticizing that emotion and they're romanticizing being sad. Yes, I get made fun of when I tell people that I often watch my favorite childhood shows that make me really happy, and I get made fun of when I tell people that I literally exclusively watch happy, funny, feel-good movies. I'm sorry, but life already has its downs. And yes, I'm not saying you have to be extremely strict with it. Yes, there sometimes are pop songs that I really like. And yes, I will watch a movie that is not just feel good sometimes. But still notice what you consume on a daily basis. Listen to music that makes you happy. Watch YouTube videos that inspire you. Watch ones that actually add to your life, that make your life better. Make playlists with songs that actually have good intentions and good affirmations, so when they actually are catchy and you find yourself repeating them a lot, they actually have great affirmations in them. Notice the power that you have with that. The next thing, and this is going to be a little bit shorter, but I take care of my gut, and this has not always been the case. I used to actually have terrible gut health, and that was actually when I was 16, and that was one of the only times in my life where I actually experienced feelings of feeling depressed. So much of our serotonin is produced in our gut, so we need to start taking care of it. Do you know how many people out there are actually depressed because they literally have terrible gut health? I cut out the processed foods, I cut out the processed sugars, and yes, it's not a linear journey and you don't have to be perfect, but actually look into gut health. Cut out foods that make you feel bloated. Cut out, again, alcohol. Cut it out. Incorporate herbal teas into your life like peppermint or lemon balm. Take probiotics. Make sure that you have all the vitamins and nutrients that you do need, and make sure your blood markers are okay. Okay, second to last thing I need to talk about in my life, and this might be a little bit triggering for the men. Actually, healthy masculine men, stay with me because you're gonna agree with me. Girls, the advice that I can literally give you and what I've done in my life is I have decentered men. And by decentering men, I do not mean that we now trash talk men and that we say, oh, we completely banish all men from our lives. I actually don't mean that at all. Men are great, and there's so many healthy masculine men out there. Yes, there are, that will actually really add to your life. But what I see with so many women is that they are completely man obsessed. And this has been the case for so many women since we were literally younger, and I have noticed that in myself. Books, movies, and society make us feel like our only purpose in life should be finding the one. We center our lives around dating, around men. We work our asses off to be seen as worthy and to be seen as pretty by men. Wanting male validation actually takes up so much brain space in our daily lives. And so many women jump from one relationship to the other and completely abandon themselves and their dreams. Which again brings me back to become okay with being alone, liking your own presence. I have personally never in my entire life put dating or men as a priority. My friendships, my purpose, my happiness, my well-being have always been the most important things for me. Yes, dating can be fun and men can actually enrich in our lives so much, but that is not the case with most women that I see out there. Yes, you can still crave a relationship and actually be a little bit man obsessed in your mind. I'm not saying that I do not crave a relationship and that I do not want male validation, but I simply do not act on it. I don't jump from one relationship to the other. I find love and I find joy and I find happiness and fulfillment in the areas that are actually good for me. The right relationship will come along. I will only allow a romantic relationship into my life if it is sweeter than my solitude, and that has not been the case so far. Okay guys, last thing, I have a million hobbies. And I actually prioritize hobbies in my life, and you should do the same. Hobbies make us happier. I don't shame myself for wanting to try out a million different things. I also don't shame myself for trying out hobbies and then quitting them again. I find curiosity in everything. I look at life through a lens of endless opportunities. Life is truly limitless, and you have no idea how many things are out there. I allow myself to connect to my authenticity and see what truly brings me joy. For example, I'm doing coloring by numbers. I'm dancing around to my favorite childhood music. I'm trying out ceramics. I'm researching and diving into different topics that I find really interesting. Find the things that interest you and that light up that fire within you and fill your entire life with it. Fill your entire life with things that bring you joy, no matter how silly it may seem. And don't give a frick about what people say. Think back to what I said about being authentic. The right people will come along. The right people won't judge you. The right people won't care. They will actually join you. Okay guys, this was actually it. I hope this video inspired you in some way and actually led to you being even just 1% happier in your life. As always, you can find everything that you need down below: my website, my socials, my events, my retreats, how to work with me, and so much more. If you're here on YouTube, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm uploading weekly now. If you're here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please leave a comment or rate this podcast. It truly helps a lot, and I'll hopefully see you again next week.